Text Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dominooo, and I have the pleasure of commentating the last round, the season finale of Formula Rookie Season 2 here on AOR tonight. We are racing Brands Hatch Indy. Very interesting circuit. I would obviously prefer the full version of the circuit, but it could take some time getting around that lap with those slower cars. Seems we will only have 8 drivers today, sadly. Well, the circuit could be pretty empty with 8 drivers only, but hopefully we will get some good racing. We were also supposed to have a debut here tonight, but from what I know, the driver hasn't appeared yet. So we will probably only have 8 racers tonight. Not much worse than the season average of 10, but obviously could be way better. The circuit a little bit empty with only 8 cars, but well, seems like some guys didn't care about showing up to the season final. We should get going in a few minutes. I think we are still waiting for someone. Maybe we will have 9 at least. Also, please someone remind me to bring back the audio when the qualifying starts, because I have audio disabled, only microphone audio is on. I like to listen to copyrighted music. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Sadly, only 8 cars, but we'll have to suffer that, I guess. Not great attendance, but it is sadly not up to me. I think we have 15 sign-ups, so could be way better. And actually, we will have all cars in pits for the first few minutes, for the first 5 minutes, just to get the track properly wet. Well, it's the other way down as you could usually have it, meaning you usually wait for the track to dry up. Today we are waiting for the track to get wetter, more wet. So, don't leave yet. 5 minutes and we will Well, actually now 3.5 minutes, and we will get going. Sorry if I fall asleep in the meantime, by the way, I'm really sleepy today. I had a coffee in McDonald's, but it didn't really help. Caffeine doesn't really work on me. It's the sugar that works, and I kind of have a condition. Well, not diabetes, but I can't really drink. I can't really have too much sugar. It's like a pre-diabetes state. It's also genetic, I think. So I'm stuck in a bit of a bad spot because, well, sugar works really good. If you ever had a Monster Energy, it works like 10 times better than any coffee. Uh, because this has so much sugar. It has 50 grams of sugar. I don't know how many it is in imperial units, but it's basically 10 teaspoons of sugar. So it is definitely many. But it works. It really works. Um, Also that there are like special coffees that have like I don't know, 5 times more caffeine than a normal coffee. But I've never tried that. GBS. Oh, we already have someone out. I think they are lining up to leave the pit lane. Good move, definitely, because it will only be more wet after with each minute after we hit that 15-minute mark. So definitely a good move there. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if someone follows a GC rider, but no one does. Everyone stays in the pits. Does they don't want to get wet. Maybe let's get that cam on, ending on the pit lane exit. In no man's land, really, because he's alone on the pit exit. You know, my memory is getting worse and worse, and you could argue that it's because I'm not getting enough sleep, but I don't think it's the only issue. I've been oh, we have someone lining up behind GC Rider. I'm pretty sure that's WMDR Martin. As for the rest of the cars, they have only just left their pit stalls. I mean that their boxes, so they will be late by a few seconds. Definitely nothing major though, I think. Also, since we are only starting the qualifying session, I thought maybe let's get the standings out. We have the driver standing and the team standings. WMDR Martin is leading the standings, and I think it's pretty much a confirmed victory for him already. With Ticklish Pickle Wickle, I think something really major would have to happen for Ticklish Pickle Wickle to get the title. OGC Rider going onto the gravel, and I think he will have a affected first lap because of that. Not enough speed on the straight and start-finish straight. And Tony Clifton is obviously not present today. He decided to not attend the last round after his shenanigans in Indianapolis. Sadly, I think it's pretty much a confirmed title for WMDR Martin, but like I said, uh, maybe Ticklish can cling onto the title by some miraculous finishes today. But like I said, it's really unlikely. WMD Martin would probably have to crash in both races and finish last. And still, I think it's not even a mathematical chance of that occurring. As for the team standings, we have Understeer Central already getting the title for the Constructors Champions. So I think nothing interesting to watch there. So let's go back to this circuit. We already have our first times on board. WMD Martin sets the provisional pole time with 56 seconds, 0.6 tenths of a second. GC Rider is second right now, 3 tenths behind him. Too Fast goes third, 58.4. So I'm not entirely sure if someone can match WMD Martin on pace today. Considering that Tony Clifton is not present, I think the only candidate is his teammate GC Rider, maybe Ticklish Picklewickle or Dudek. Oh, Dudek is also not present today. Well, that's a bummer, but we'll have to do without him. Let's watch WMD Martin as he crosses the start-finish line for his second time on the board. He does not improve. Even Kerry goes third with 58.1, just to get beaten by Ticklish and Kierovnik. They both set times in the 57th. No one except WMD and Martin dipping into the 56s yet. And all 8 cars, 8 setting lap times already. I see that the stream looks a bit laggy. I'm really sorry, it's because I have the refresh rate probably not really matching the 30 FPS set on the stream, but I'm hoping it will be pleasant enough to watch. And you know, like I was saying, oh, and WMD Martin actually sets the fastest lap now, beat his previous time, but by actually not much. He's still in the 56.6 range. WMD Martin, the real champ. Well, yes, I think it's pretty much impossible for someone to take the lead away from him now, unless he finishes with zero points in both races. Which means he would probably have to disconnect. And if Ticklish wins both races, because Tony Clifton nor Dudek are present, so they both can't take the title away. So I think WMD Martin could have his title. I don't know if first title. I think his first title on AOR. I'm not really sure. WMD Martin goes back to the pits. So does Paul, currently in P3. 57.5 for the Dutch driver, or was he Belgian? I don't know really. Excuse me for my lack of knowledge. No, Paul is actually Belgian. Well, the representation from how was that region called again? Benelux is quite hefty. We have, I'm pretty sure, two or I think 3 Dutch drivers and 2 Belgians. No, actually not. We have 2 Belgians and 2 Germans present here today. The third Dutch driver being Speeding Sedan, but he has only participated in 3 races. 2 preseason races and in the first race on Long Beach, I think. Well, it's definitely a pity that we didn't see him more. Definitely not one of the quickest drivers, but still makes the field a little bit more, a little bit less empty, let's say. So we have 8.5 minutes left in this session, and WMD Martin looks unbeaten right now. 56.6 is his time. No one goes close enough, even in the 56s. DC Rider second with a 57.0. Well, let's see how Nidalap is doing last round. Actually, I think we didn't get any major bits with Nidalap except for the hit with Tony Clifton. Or was it WMD Martin that got hit in turn 1 in the Bajura sandwich of Nidalap and the pole? I can't remember, excuse me, maybe someone in the chat was watching that race and remembers. I also wanted to say something, but I forgot. My memory is really bad. Well, Stephen Kerry, not appearing in every round he missed Indianapolis. Well, despite he didn't appear in Indianapolis and had a disconnect in Zhuhai, he's still sitting in P10 in the standings. Well, P10 out of 15, so I think it's not an entirely bad score for him. I think another missing driver here today is Lord Arano, the winner of the sprint race on Silverstone. Also a podium finisher from round 1. He's sitting 6th in the standings. And I don't think he could have went by much in the standings either. The gap to P5 being 54 points. But it's very possible that he will get overtaken by many drivers today, as the gap to P9 is only 36 points. To P10 it's already pretty big, so I don't think he will fall behind Stephen Kerry, but I think dropping even to P9 could be on the cards here today for the American. The only American in our grid. We also surprisingly have someone that doesn't have a name. I think it's a bug on the side. Oh, the stream is okay, that's good to know. Oh, despite we only have 8 cars, it is getting quite crowded on the track. One had to be let go of. And well, in the meantime, WMD Martin sets the fastest lap, or was, no, he's still on a 56.6. But DC Rider goes quicker, he's set a 56.8. And Stephen Kerry also jumped into the 56s. He is standing on with a 56.9. Too fast, not far off. He is in P4 with a 57.1. I don't want to insult anyone, but I think it's a clear pattern where the slower drivers are quicker in the wet. I'm seeing that in myself especially. Well, because I'm not the quickest driver necessarily. I mainly do ACC, and in there I think I'm usually 2-3 seconds off, on some circuits 4 seconds off the alien pace. So, I'm definitely not that bad, but also not really great. I also don't really enjoy ACC. I know it's a very realistic simulator, but I just don't enjoy it. I think it's It's overly complicated with its driving model. I enjoy iRacing much more. And Ticklish Pickle has a mechanical fault. That's interesting. That's the second round in a row that he has done that. One of the better cars letting go of Stephen Kerry that's need a lap. He has returned back to the pits, and Stephen Kerry 3/10 up on his delta in the first sector, so he could be running for a provisional pole time here, as only his first sector improvement would be beating WMD Martin's time. Second sector 0.26 up, and he is already on the start finish line. Let's see if he could improve enough in the third sector, crossing the line now. And it is good enough. It's 56.5 for Stephen Kerry. He takes the provisional pole right here. 2.5 minutes to go. We will see if WMD Martin can beat his time. He is starting his fast lap right now. Let's see if he can do that. I think a very interesting thing about Brands Hatch in Project Cars 2 is the uphill after the start finish line. I think it doesn't really look realistic, but obviously Project Cars 2 doesn't have laser scan circuits. People are calling Sparkhurst, and I think it is definitely a bit unrealistic. Same with the F1 version of Belgium of Spa. I think ACC probably has the best model with laser scan that's pretty accurate with the curbs, at least before the upgrade. We will see if iRacing does something, because, well, Spa is now updated a bit. It has new curbs, it has a new it has a new layout with a new with a new way in no name, or as it was called by the track officials, speaker corner. I think everyone is calling it no name. Going back to the trackside action, 1 minute left to go, and WMD Martin is 1/10 up on his delta. That would lead to him beating Stephen Kerry with his 56.5 right now. And WMD Martin is now crossing the start finish line, and he doesn't take the professional pole. He has a very slow sector 3, and he will keep it in P2, but he has time for one more lap, and let's see if the last time out is the charm. But he spins in turn 2, and that's Stephen Kerry not improving. He stays in P2, but let's see if maybe GC Rider can still do something about Stephen Kerry's time. Stephen Kerry invalidating his lap, so he won't improve on his provisional pole time. And GC Rider down 2/10 in the second sector. Let's see if he does anything in sector 3, but I really doubt that he can go up by 2/10 only in the last sector, which is pretty short. Let's see. He will cross the start finish line right now, and he does not improve. Tiglish Pickle still out, half a second down on his best lap comparing to Stephen Kerry's pole time. Let's see, he crosses the start finish line now and does not improve, and that means Stephen Kerry takes his first pole position of the season here for the sprint race on Brands Hatch in the season finale of Formula Rookie Season 2 on AOR. So congratulations to Stephen Kerry, our coordinator, taking the pole position spot 900 of a second in front of Steven of WMD Martin. Sorry, I'm really sleepy already. So let me to do one thing, or maybe I'll do it after we see the standings. The official standings now. Not this. So Stephen Kerry takes pole position with a 56.5. WMDR Martin marginally missing on pole position, really quick on his last lap, but messing up sector 3, meaning he will start in P2. Then we have GC Rider and Ticklish Picklewickle, third row of the grids. It's two Vedra drivers too fast and need a lap, and Kirovnik and Paul take the last row of the grid. So let me do one thing, because you can see my Steam, and it means I have friends popping up all the time. Let's disable it. And well, I think we could have a very interesting fight between Stephen Kerry and WMD Martin. I think WMD Martin could be quicker on race pace than Stephen Kerry, same with GC Rider, but let's not talk about it yet. We don't know. Hopefully we will have a great fight for the lead, and if not for the lead, then for the podium. Also, Dudek just said he can make it for race 2, so that's great news. I'm also wishing our debutant, I think it's debutant in English, will make it for a race 2 as well. But it is yet to be seen. 25 laps here in race 1, obviously 20-minute race, but the track is quite short. And we are ready to go, waiting for the 5 lights to go out now. And we are off. Stephen Kerry gets a bad start. WMDR Martin goes alongside and overtakes Stephen Kerry before the first corner, takes the lead of the race. Let's see if GC Rider can do the same, and if we can have an understeer central 1-2 as we go into turn 2. Stephen Kerry seems to be keeping his second place. GC Rider getting a great exit though, gets the inside for the next turn, and that is a 1-2 for WMDR Martin and GC Rider. Stephen Kerry drops 2 positions in half of the first lap. Ticklish Picklewickle not far behind them as well. Let's see if everyone's made it safe and sound. That is indeed the case. Kironik already looking up to make some positions of the start. And Stephen Kerry gets a great run on GC Rider as they are crossing the line to start lap 2. Let's see if he can overtake him into turn 1. The yes is the answer. Stephen Kerry regains one of his lost positions, but GC Rider gets a better exit of the corner and still tries to keep the second position. And good exit despite taking the outside for the corner. GC Rider goes back into second. WMDR Martin running away with the race. Now GC Rider goes wide, goes out on the grass. Let's see if Stephen Kerry can catch him up. He will have the outside for the last corner. Oh, and WMDR Martin spins on the circuit. GC Rider and Kerry collide, but no damage inflicted there, it seems. Stephen Kerry regains his lead. Nidalap goes into second. GC Rider drops into next to last, and WMDR Martin, well, I jinxed him a little bit. He's down to last. And I would want to say the title fight is wide open, but Ticklish Picklewickle would have to go at least into P2 or P1 to have any chances of trying to gain some spots in the championship standings. But dark scenario right there, the worst scenario probably for WMDR Martin. He's down to last. Luckily not much damage. He seems to keep the car going with relative ease. Almost like Sebastian Vettel spinning back in the Red Bull in Brazil, dropping to last with his title fight. Well, it was a bit closer on points there, but a little bit of a similar situation nonetheless. Nidalab goes into second too fast is third, so two Bedura cars are on the podium right now. That's looking very good for them. We also see the team standings. So Lose Not Racing, represented by Stephen Kerry only today, as obviously Lord Arano is missing. And let me see the team standings once again, because I actually didn't look at the points. Weirdly enough, I don't see. Oh, I see. Lose Not Racing. They are currently in P4, 10 points behind Bedra. So, Stephen Kerry is still fighting for third in the championship standings for Lose Not Racing. Nidalab, 1 second behind Stephen Kerry. Could try to catch him up. They are pretty much matched on pace. WMD Martin already making up one position after his spin. He has overtaken Ticklish Pickle Wickle, who seems to have problems as well. He dropped from 4th to last, so he is even more so decreasing his chances for the win. But I think he will take P2 anyway after Tony Clifton has decided to not attempt racing here in the last round of the season. So let's go back to the front. Nidalab dropping more and more to Stephen Kerry. I think he hasn't got enough pace to catch him up. Well, Kirovnik could, as he is bang on, did almost the same lap time as Stephen Kerry last lap. But he's getting ever closer to Nidalab. Oh, Stephen Kerry cutting across the circuit right there. That has gained Nidalab and Kirovnik some time. Ricky Rider also quickest car on circuit right now. He has caught up to Kirovnik right now, and he could be trying to make up those two positions really quickly in a pursuit of Stephen Kerry. Let's see, he goes down the inside for turn 1. Oh, and Nidalab goes wide, drops into P4 right now. He will drop even further. He drops into 5th, 6th and 7th overtaking him right now. And that is podium chances over for the Dutch driver. Well, many unexpected developments right now. Stephen Kerry is still trying to fight for the win, but GC Rider has overtaken both Kirovnik and Paul in the meantime. Both Kirovnik and GC Rider, Nidalab. Excuse me for that. And he's now 1.5 seconds behind Stephen Kerry, 1 second quicker than the German driver last lap. So he is definitely in the pursuit of P1 right now. And well, that would mean the first victory for GC Rider if he could keep up with Stephen Kerry, overtake him and win. No victories for the British driver yet. Would also be the first victory for any British driver, I think. No, excuse me. We had that British driver that his name doesn't show up. I think that's Mad Dog, but I could be mistaken. He has taken victory on round 2. No, round 3 on Long Beach. So that means a second victory for Great Britain here on AOR Formula Rookie Season 2. Yes, Dudek, we saw, I saw you in the Project CARS chat saying that, oh, and Stephen Kerry spins! Does Rishi Rider into the lead without any fight? And Stephen Kerry rejoins, seemingly in P5, as WMD Martin will overtake him. Same does too fast. Stephen Kerry drops into 6th. So many spins already. I think we had 2 spins from the leaders, and also Nidalab going wide onto the gravel, dropping from the podium. So many mistakes right now in the sprint race of the final round. That means GC Rider has pretty much victory secured unless he makes a mistake as well. But we obviously don't wish that to him. But going back to what I was saying, I saw you in the Project CARS chat saying that you will be coming for race 2. Well, could be some challenger for the win. The field is pretty closely matched, but so many little mistakes made so far. WMD Martin spinning on lap 2, then Stephen Kerry spinning last lap. Neither lap going wide in turn 1, the dropping of the podium. So not really what we would have wanted to see, but it is emotional nonetheless. And so GC Rider is starting lap 11. We are not halfway through the race, but I think we already have a victor. We already have a victor. But GC Rider is not going as fast as he probably could right now. Inconsistency right here, and too fast with a 50.8 last lap. Well, that is almost the quickest time of the race. And that could mean he is in the fight for the podium. Excuse me. Or maybe even for a win if he keeps up that pace. Only 5.5 seconds behind the leader, but also remember 5 seconds is a pretty big gap in those slower cars. Goes a little bit wide now. Also, let's see how it looks in the term of penalties. Kierownik 2 seconds, Needle up, and Tigris Piklowiecko as well. Stephen Kerry with a 1 second penalty. Tigris Piklowiecko can't seem to get close to anyone after his mistake. Down to last right now. Well, that means I think after race 1 we can say the WMD Martin is the champion, but also let the drivers finish the race first. Still anything can happen. Also, let me say it on points. If WMD Martin finishes 5th in this race, if he finishes 5th, he gets 28 points. Nicholas gets 11. I can't really count, but let me try. 423 points. Ticklish gets 11, so that 331. So now that there is no chance that WMD Martin could be beaten in race 2. Maybe unless Tony Clifton comes back, but I think even if he comes back, the gap is still too massive after race 1. Even if WMD Martin would finish last. Remember, 11 points for P8. Oh, and Stephen Kerry is down to last. He's made another mistake. That's quite unfortunate. Let's see what lap time does. GC Rider set as he started lap 14. That is 51.3, so quicker than Kierownik but not by a big margin. WMD Martin back to 3rd. He has cleared Paul and Stephen Kerry, I think, because Stephen Kerry dropped to last after his mistake. And too fast, actually dropping a little bit off. He's still the quickest car on circuit, but not by a big margin. Also, surprisingly enough, doesn't seem to be making up ground to the leader. Not up by any position since we last checked on him. But still a little bit less than a half of the race to go. So still anything can happen. Maybe Too Fast can still at least get a podium. And well, it's plain sailing for GT Rider right now. No one wants to win this race. Well, clearly. Maybe GC Rider does, unless he unless he surprises us in the last few laps. There's still one chance to do that. Yeah. In race 2. Also, Kirovnik could get his first podium. That is indeed the case. His best finish is 4th in a sprint race at Silverstone and 4th in the feature race on Indianapolis. So could be first podium and best finish for Kirovnik here today, unless he repeats what Nidelap also done in P2, but let's not jinx him. Hopefully we see his first podium here on Brands Hatch. Also, it surprises me that we only see lap times 5 seconds quicker on the sprint race than on the qualifying. Maybe the drivers didn't really practice dry weather, maybe they focused on wet weather, or maybe it's just the pace that is possible here. And well, Kironik does look pretty good for a podium. WMD Martin quicker than him right now, but the gap is there. The difference in pace isn't that big, so I think Kirovnik is looking pretty good for a podium, like I said. An old GC rider only seems to increase his gap despite the game says they are much on pace. Oh wow, Kirovnik with a 53 this lap. Well, that's quite a slow time. And WMD Martin less than a second behind him. So let us see if anything happened between those two. Kirovnik with a bit of a weird line through turn 2, through it. And he's getting closer and closer, half a second, splitting those two right now. As they are starting their lap 19. GC Rider obviously started lap 19 a few seconds ago already. And another wide line now through Paddock Hill for Kirovnik, but WMD Martin can't go for the move yet. Kirovnik going wide once again in Druids. They are pretty much alongside each other now. No, not yet. Kirovnik still hangs on to P2. As they go through Cooper now, through 30s. Kirovnik goes defensive. Let's see a closer come. He gets a good exit. Too fast. Well, I think he's catching a little bit, but he's still pretty far away. And as they go through Paddock Hill once more, WMD Martin seems to get a good run on Kirovnik. He goes down the inside. Kirovnik goes a bit defensive, wide in Druids again. If anything happens in the Graham Hill bend, that's not the case. The WMD Martin right behind Kirovnik right now. Kirovnik shuts the door on him on the Cooper straight. Our Kirovnik goes wide now into clearways, and WMD Martin makes the move for P2. But the gap to GC Rider is 4.5 seconds. I don't think he can make up that time. I think if he can keep the pace up, I think that's P2 secured for the Belgian driver. And that would mean the championship secured as well. Oh, a little bit of a slide there. And Too Fast has caught up to them. right behind the two drivers fighting for second. The fight now increasing to 3 drivers fighting for second. And too fast right on the back of Kirovnik right now, so I think the podium chances for Kirovnik have pretty much sailed away unless he can keep his defensive game up and try to keep Too Fast behind. Too Fast also a little bit of a passive driver. He tries to do everything calmly. But let's see them fighting. Too Fast drops a little bit. I think he slowed down a little behind Kirovnik on the Cooper straight. They slide through turn 1, both of them. Too Fast 7 turns behind Kirovnik right now. Kirovnik still on the back of WMD Martin, actually, not that far away from him. But I don't think he's quick enough to catch up back to WMD Martin and try to make a move. Too Fast going a little bit wide through the Graham Hill bend. They are crossing the start-finish line for the third to last time. It's lap 23 starting for them. And Too Fast looks pretty much matched with Kirovnik on pace. I don't know why does it show that he did a 57 last time round. That is definitely incorrect. Well, Project Cars being Project Cars, at least the British circuit will be a British circuit today, actually, if you know what I mean. Also, yeah, 5 seconds of a penalty for Too Fast, so I think even if he overtakes Kirovnik, he would have to get 3 seconds gap, as Kirovnik has a penalty of his own of 2 seconds. Niederlap's penalty increasing to 4. Stephen Kerry is actually 47 seconds behind the leader now, so pretty far away. Oh, actually getting lapped by GC Rider already. So unless Kirovnik makes a mistake and has a really slow 2 last laps, I don't think it's a podium for Too Fast. I think that could be a first podium for Kirovnik this season. But let's see how does it develop in those last 2 laps, as we are already halfway through the penultimate lap. Well, the lap here is pretty quick, and Too Fast gets a good run from Graham Hill, now making a move on Kirovnik on the Cooper straight, and he is up to P3 on circuit. Goes defensive into clearways, and that is 3rd place secured. But now the objective is to get 3 seconds of an advantage in the last lap. If he can't do that, it means he gets demoted to P4. So let's see, we are on the penultimate lap. WMB Martin going really wide on the curve, but that's probably the preferred line. Too Fast will try anything to be quick enough to increase the gap to 3 seconds right now, but Kirovnik is still under a second behind him. So I don't think Too Fast can do anything about that penalty now, unless Kirovnik gets more penalties. But he doesn't look to get more. Probably careful right now not to get more. And GC Rider will cross the start finish line to get a victory in the sprint race on Brands Hatch. And that is a first victory for the Brit in the series. So congratulations to GC Rider. WMD Martin crosses the line in 2nd, and Kirovnik 4th on circuit, but he gets promoted to the last podium position because of Too Fast's penalty. So that is the first podium for Kirovnik in this series. Too Fast can't match his best result of 3rd. Pole finishes 5th. Then we have Tiklis Piklowico and Nidalap in 7th. Stephen Kerry quite unlucky here today, getting lapped by most of the grid. He finishes 8th, last on the grid. And we will take a short break. give the drivers a bit of breathing room. And we'll be back soon for the feature race. We will also have a bit of a larger grid, 9 drivers being fielded for race 2 as Dudek will join them. So, well, I think quite an interesting race one. A little bit calmer in the second half. Also, from what I know, we didn't have time changed on the AOR side, so some drivers getting confused by the time not being updated. But like I said earlier, we are going for a short break. I'm going for a short break too. We will be back soon with the featured race. Don't leave us. We are only taking a short break. Well, and see you soon. Welcome back. We are getting ready for race 2 and well, 51 laps ahead of us. It looks a bit like 51 looks like a little bit of an F1 figure. We get those amount of laps in F1, but obviously a really short circuit here today, so the laps take less than 1 minute. Well, in F1 that would mean probably around 100 laps. We had that around that. I think we had over 100 laps on a short layout in Sakir. I actually really enjoyed the Sakir Grand Prix on the shorter layout. Would also be really fun to have the endurance layout. I think we had that used for one round on one race in F1. I think in the earlier years. I could be wrong, but I want to say it was 2010 or 2011 when we had the endurance layout. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of the current layout. I think both Sakir and the endurance layout are more interesting. Also, in another F1 term, we have Austria changing their layout a bit. There is a new chicane between turn 1 and turn 3. What the current turn 2, or well, it's a little kink uh, on the straight between turn 1 and turn 3, but F1 calls that a corner. So we have a chicane there now. I'm wondering if it will be used for F1 because it is made for MotoGP after a heavy crash between I don't remember who actually, but there was a heavy crash in one of the races on of MotoGP on that circuit. Oh, someone standing on the bridge with a tiny flag. What flag is this? I think it is a Brazilian flag, but it is very dark. I can't see it. And well, in the meantime, we had Stephen Kerry rejoining us because his game crashed, but we also had Lord Arano and Dudek joining us for race 2. So Dudek can't cling on to the title already, but he is here and he has good chances of a podium considering his pace. And another official news, WMDR Martin is your AOR Formula Rookie Season 2 champion. A bit anticlimactic. I could have said that after the first race finished, but I just forgot about it. My memory is really not good. And well, we will have, surprisingly enough, we have Stephen Kerry starting first. Despite he, oh yes, because we finished last, excuse me. Nadab second, Ticklish third, then we have Paul too fast, Kirovnik, WMDR Martin, GC Rider, Lord Arano, and Dudek are starting last because they just joined. So Stephen Kerry dictates the pace, we are waiting for him to start, and it's go, 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 as we are starting 50 laps of Brandshatch ahead of us. Stephen Kerry dictates the pace, so he obviously has a good start. Second is Ticklish, then we have Nidalap fighting with Paul into Druid. Paul takes the inside for Druid and he will overtake his teammate as they are running onto Graham Hill and Nidalap dropping onto 4th. Too fast 5th. He had good pace in race 1, so starting 5th, good chances of a podium for him now. And then we have WMD Martin. I think he gained some positions at the start. Dudek already up by 3 places, starting last. He is now having a drag race into turn 1 with his teammate. Hopefully no collision between teammates again. Well, that's indeed not the case. Dudek will take 7th spot right now, but Kervik has a better run into Druids. In the meantime, Too Fast jumps into 5th. Into 4th, excuse me. And the blue flag for Kirovnik. I think that's a bug. So Stephen Kerry is leading. He was looking very good for a podium finish last race or even a victory, but he has bottled it, colloquially saying now has a chance to do that again or to win the race. Sets the fastest lap right now with a 51.0. Ticklish already collecting a 2-second penalty. He is second right now and not far behind Stephen Kerry. He is 2 times behind him as they are running into Graham Hill Bend. 2 fast sets, a fastest sector 1, and he is right on the back of Paul, but has to slow down a little, going too wide of Graham Hill Bend. Let's go back to Ticklish as he's running through clear waste. But he's not close enough yet to make a move. Well, Ticklish, I'm pretty sure already secured a second spot in the standings. No way to go up to first. He lurks down the inside of Stephen Kerry into Druid, but doesn't decide to go for the move yet. He's playing the patient game. He knows he has time. He knows he's quicker. He waits for the perfect opportunity right there. Well, if I was him, I would try to make the move quickly. Obviously, a lot of quick guys behind him, still having a lot of time to make up ground. WMD and Martin currently 5th and GC Rider 8th. They are both stuck in traffic, but like I said, a lot of time to make ground. And going back to Ticklish, he has pretty much the second place in the standings already secured. But no way to go up to first in the standings, no way to win the standings. WMD and Martin already has too big of a gap. I did the maths in race 1. Maths definitely not my strong suit, but it's simple enough to have it counted. Also, well, I was a coordinator when I was young, so I luckily didn't have to do the maps by myself because well, I had a magical Excel sheet made by one of the other guys in AOR, which counted the points automatically. So that was good enough. That was the good part about being a coordinator, filling in the Excel tables. And Stephen Kerry sits the fastest lap, 50.7. So he is back on the pace, and Ticklish can now only be mad with himself that he didn't make the move earlier. Now he has to match Stephen Kerry on pace, which is definitely not easy. 50.7 from Stephen, but Ticklish is also into the 50s, 50.9 despite being heavy on fuel. So I think that's a good time from him nonetheless. But actually, he has 23 liters. He's not that heavy on fuel. Also, we have to consider those cars don't burn much fuel, but I think most guys going for the refuel strategy nonetheless. Dudek and GC Rider move into 6th and 7th as we have a 3-way battle on the start-finish straight right now. Let's see. That is GC Rider coming out as the winner of that fight for now. Dudek right behind him. Too fast has a tank slapper. Goes a little bit slidey through turn 1 that allows Nidalap to make a run on him, and the Bedra driver jumping into 7th right behind Dudek, and GC Rider goes down the inside of Dudek. Dudek gets hit, and that ends up in an accident. Nidalap is out of the race. It was Dudek initially who got hit, and oh, and that is Kierovnik crashing Lord Arano out. Oh, that's definitely not what we wanted to see. Lord Arano now blocking the circuit. If we were in F1, that would definitely be a red flag, but Lord Arano will just retire from the race. That's the race over for him. Wow. Curious scenes on the Cooper Straight right now. It was initially Dudek who got hit and almost spun, but then he got pretty much saved by Nidalap, who was going down his inside. He amortized his slide and took it upon himself, worked as a shield for Dudek, and he was rolled over. He's surprisingly still going with damage, but he's still going. Wow. How did he manage that? But well, in the meantime, actually Ticklish overtaking Stephen Kerry, we missed that. So that's the Dane, the only Dane on the grid, up into the lead. Could get his first victory of the season here. Obviously a victory in the preseason round in the sprint race on Willow Springs, but that was not counting toward the point standings. So could be his first win in an actual race of the league today. He is bang on pace with Stephen Kerry right now, but well, the pace is fluctuating a little bit. They went 51.5 and 51.1 on this lap, but they were both in the 50s before. Too fast sets a fastest sector 2. I think this track is really fitting him, but he has dropped into 8. Oh, we don't want to leave the session, and too fast on the back of Kerry right now on the start-finish straight. But he will brake, he will let go of the gas, and won't make the move yet. I'm actually surprised how calm and passive too fast is. He doesn't go for the opportunities. He tries to well, I don't want to say he waits for the enemy to make a mistake, but he rather tries to wait for the occasion to come to him naturally. And Stephen Kerry is back under the 1 second gap to Ticklish. Let's see if we will get some developments in that fight. Now, as they started lap 12, WMDR Martin not far behind him. He is third right now. And still another very quick driver. He hit the 50s as well last lap. Stephen Kerry 50.6, WMDR Martin 50.7. He's getting quicker and quicker. He's really fast right now. Well, English has a little bit of a slide through clearways that allows both Steven and WMDR Martin to have a little bit of a momentum to him. WMDR Martin sets the fastest lap, 50.4. That's I think that's the quickest we've seen yet. I'm actually wondering if we get into the 49s here. Could be very possible. Stephen Kerry goes defensive, but that doesn't mean WMDR Martin doesn't want trying to make the move, but he doesn't go ahead yet. I think he went a little bit wide into Druids, and he's still third. Well, WMDR Martin quickest car on circuit right now, but Dudek and GC Rider aren't far off his pace, and considering he's squabbling with with Stephen Kerry and Ticklish right now, that could allow the other two to catch up. Well, if we would have a 5-way fight for the win, that would be something. I think we didn't have something so unusual yet. We had a 4-way fight for P2 on Indianapolis, but not a 5-way fight for the win. That's even better than last time. Let's see now. Stephen Kerry lurking down the inside, but doesn't want to go for the move yet. We'll also see how the pit fight will play out, because the drivers will have to make a pit stop. And let's see Stephen Kerry right on the back of Ticklish right now. He doesn't go down the inside. He is trying to be patient, and both GC Rider and Dudek are now past Paul, so they are 4 seconds behind the leader pack. We'll see if they can catch up. All 3 cars in the first 3 positions are doing 51s right now. WMDR Martin a little bit further away, so 50 for him. He is not getting that much held up by that fight, but it will allow GC Rider and Dudek the pole to get closer nonetheless. And seeing Kerry gaining loads of time on the Cooper Straight again. The slipstream in those cars is very potent. It also depends on the track, depends on the air, but I think here it works very good. And Stephen Kerry now going down the inside. He's going for the move into the first corner, and he will not overtake Ticklish Pikoleko. Something went wrong there, and now he is fighting to defend the second place from WMD Martin, but he will not succeed in doing so. He is down to third, but still very close to the first two positions. Gets a good run from Graham Hill corner. We will have the inside for clearways, but a little bit slow through 30s right now, so he won't be able to capitalize from his on-track position. And that's the only Danish driver on the grid. TPW back into the lead. WMD Martin now the one that will try to attack him and snatch the lead away from him. Teklish gets a little slide on the pit lane bend corner. That means WMD Martin will try to get the inside run. That's indeed the case. He goes down the inside and takes the lead of the race for the first time in the feature right here on lap 17. So that would be that could mean very bad news for pretty much everyone behind him, because WMD Martin looks like the fastest driver on the circuit right now, and him going into the lead after Ticklish makes that mistake in the pit lane bend corner, that's very bad news for everyone in the top 5, for Ticklish, for Stephen Kerry, for GC Rider, and for Dudek the Pole. But we'll see how it plays out. Maybe he drops a little bit on pace. GC Rider actually going quicker than him right now. So, I could be wrong, but I think that is what's going to happen. But let's not speak about it yet. It hasn't happened yet. And actually, Ticklish actually getting closer. Stephen Kerry on the back of the Dane as well. And GC Rider is around 2.5 seconds behind the leader. He was 5 seconds away at some point, so he is definitely getting closer as well. And that's the first pit lane entry in this race. Nicholas goes down into the pits. He could get some clean air from that. Undercut could be a very good strategy with this, well, not 5-way yet, but 3-way fight right now. 5-way possibly, if some drivers play out the pit lane strategy well. Martin is a Viking warrior. Well, Martin is is Belgian, but well, Ticklish is Danish, so he's the resident Viking here. I think actually the only Scandinavian driver on the grid, so he is the Viking representation. Oh, WMD Martin right now in the lead. Like I said, he's a very quick driver, would benefit from that clean air. Actually, Stephen Kerry now 1 second behind him, so that's indeed the case. We'll see how Ticklish plays out his undercut. If it benefits him, for now it looks like he has clean air, he doesn't have cars close around him. GC Rider getting ever closer, same with, actually not the same with Dudek. He has dropped a bit, not quick enough right now, 5 seconds behind the lead. WMD Martin, whoa, controlling that slide out of clearways. Obviously you need to remember that WMD Martin is the resident controller driver. He's managing that controller very well. He's secured the championship already. So kudos to him. He is quicker with the controller than some of the well drivers. But obviously remember, you have the assist on the controllers and stuff. I'm pretty sure WMD Martin also doesn't have gear shifts on, so he has some difficulties with the controller, but also some assists, some serious drifting. Oh yes, that's indeed the case in the Formula Rookie cars. I think that's just the way how you drive the cars. Oh, and Stephen Kerry catches back to WMD Martin and overtakes him. Well, he's caught me off guard, definitely. But it is not the end of the fight for WMD Martin. He is right on the back of the German driver. As they are crossing the line to start lap 22, WMD Martin will take the outside for the first corner. Let's see who gets a better exit. They both are still alongside each other. WMD Martin actually gets the better exit, but has the outside for Druids. They go toe by toe. GC Rider has caught up to both of them. So we are back in a three-way fight. Different drivers now, though. We will see whether those three will make a pit stop and then possibly a four-way fight. WMD Martin still in the lead. Stephen Kerry right behind him, and the Belgian's teammate, GC Rider, in third right now. Let's see Stephen Kerry marginally ahead as they are heading onto the start-finish straight once again. Let's see it from GC Rider's perspective, as he has the best view for that fight possibly. He takes the inside for the first corner. They lock wheels with Stephen Kerry, and it seems like GC Rider is the winner of that fight here. He has jumped from third to first in the span of one lap. Three-way fight down the start-finish straight, but now we are into Graham Hill Bend, and his teammate takes the lead away from him. Oh, it's a great fight. It's really interesting to watch. Even Kerry down into third. WMD Martin back in the lead. GC Rider in second. That's a 1-2 for Understeer Central right now. WMD Martin has a little bit of a slide out of clearways. And let's see how it plays out right now. Stephen Kerry dropping a little bit behind the two Understeer Central drivers. And it seems like WMD Martin will keep his lead. Oh, and Stephen Kerry makes a big drift, almost spins in pit lane bend. Little reminder, he has spun there in the sprint race, throw away his lead by that. So another close call for him. But since he has dropped a little bit, let's go back to the leaders. Actually, WMD Martin still close to GC Rider. But I think the British driver is close enough to attack. Yes, he is definitely not close enough to attack, but we have Kirone into the pits, so second driver to make a pit stop. I think English Pickle I think he's losing a little bit on the undercut. I think he had a 23 second gap, 24 seconds right now. But it also depends how the top three, the current top three, will do it in the pits. Well, how long it will take for them to enter the pits, to refuel, to exit, if there are any mistakes in the pit lane. Kerry already out of the pit lane into 8th. Ticklish, well, I think he could be down into P4 possibly after everyone's made their pit stops, but we will see. WMD Martin, well, I can't say he is safe and calm right now, as he has his teammate half a second behind him. So still, I don't think it's a secure lead for Belgium right now. GC Rider could be going for his second victory in a row. If he would do it, that would be very impressive indeed. Niederlap is making a pit stop from last. Little reminder, if anyone's missed it, he had a big accident into Graham Hill Bend. As we had, well, I think it was a 5-way fight. He has actually rolled over, did a barrel roll, and somehow he has made it back after going onto his roof, landing on his roof. So kudos to him. He's still going, and he is not that far off, to be honest. I bet he'll have some damage to repair in the pits, but I think he'll be able to finish the race. Lord Arano not so lucky. He has collided with Kierownik, I think, and he has DNF'd after his car was totaled and also ended up on the roof. Lord Arano couldn't save it like Needle did, and someone's into the gravel. Who is that? That's Kierownik into the gravel. Well, we just spoke about him, and he has sadly made a mistake. Stephen Kerry has entered the pits, so second driver of the lead pack fighting for the victory into the pits right now. We are waiting for WMD Martin and GC Rider to enter the pits. Also, let's switch back to GC Rider as he is right on the back of his teammate. They are both still fighting for the lead. WMD Martin going a little bit close to the pit lane entry here. I thought he would enter the pits, but it's not yet. Colin McRae rally on the PS1. I'm not entirely sure. When I was a little kid, I played one of the Colin McRae games. I could be wrong, but it was either Colin McRae 2.0 or was it 2005? All great memories. I think it was my first contact. Well, I'm not sure. It could be my first contact with a racing game. And GC Rider is into the pits. So WMD Martin is playing the long game. He will be staying out, going for the overcut. Dudek jumps into second, but he is far off WMD Martin and GC Rider. Obviously, net far away because GC Rider has dropped behind him now, as Dudek hasn't made a pit stop yet. But like I was saying, I could be wrong, but I think, yeah, I could be wrong, but Colin McRae, one of the early Colin McRae entries in the series was my first ever contact with a racing game. I played it on a keyboard. So, actually, surprisingly enough, Project Cars 2 isn't really bad on the keyboard. WMD Martin crosses the pit entry line, but makes it into the pit, knocks off a cone. And he's the last of the leaders to make a pit stop. Dudek jumps into first as he hasn't made a pit stop yet. Paul is second. Too Fast will possibly overtake WMD and Martin as well. Too Fast also not making a pit stop. But let's see how will WMD and Martin end up relatively to in relative to GC Rider. He exits the pits and GC Rider goes past him with definitely at least half a second of a gap, but GC Rider almost loses it on the exit of turn 1. WMD Martin tries to go down the inside, but GC Rider goes defensive as they are going into Graham Hill Bend right now. And GC Rider will keep the net lead of the race. Also, I can't see the real gap between them and Teglish Pekolko, but he has dropped a little. He's 6 behind WMD Martin, so the undercut not playing out well for him. And GC Rider goes wide onto the gravel, and WMD Martin goes back into the net lead of the race. Too Fast, Paul and Dudek in front of the three of them, but neither of the top three has made a stop yet. That's what I'm saying, meaning WMD Martin is the is the net leader of the race. Well, I've actually never played Toka, any of the Toka entries in the series. And Gran Turismo, I've played the PlayStation Portable version of Gran Turismo. Dudek is into the pits. So he wasn't that far away from the leaders, but I think he will re-enter the circuit somewhere around Ticklish. So top 4 still on the cards. Pulling too fast into the first 2 spots, making it a Bedra 1-2. Obviously Bedra as a team, because it's Paul and Nedalap who are officially representing Bedra as a team. Too fast is the third driver, and the teams are obviously for 2 drivers. So back to what I was saying, I played Gran Turismo on PSP, and it's great memories. I really enjoyed it. I've mainly played oval races, because oval races were very easy to do. You just set like a lot of laps on the oval, and it was really easy to win with slipstream, and it was paying really well, so you could buy more cars. I actually should have the PSP laying around somewhere, so maybe I could play it. I'm not really going to buy Gran Turismo 7, despite I have the PS4. Maybe if it maybe if the price is going to drop, but to be honest, it's I heard the single player mode isn't really good. License tests don't really sound interesting to me, and the AI is supposedly really bad. And in the meantime, we have another retirement. Stephen Kerry has decided to finish his race. I'm not sure if it was an accident. I'm pretty sure he just maybe had a disconnect or maybe something, but I don't think it was a incident or something related to that. Paul still in the lead because he has not made a pit stop yet. Same with Too Fast. He is in second without a pit stop. Actually, he just got a penalty and he has 7 seconds, so the biggest penalty in the grid right now. Whoa, that was an interesting line. Through Graham Hillbent. And WMD and Martin catching up to him, so yeah, Too Fast actually pulling into the pits right now, I think. No, he's still going. He just went close to the pit lane entry. WMD and Martin goes up into P2. Obviously, Paul hasn't made a pit stop yet, so he should be up into P1 soon. And well, 15 laps to go. Not everyone made their pit stops yet, so well, the standings are definitely not final. Also, GC Rider dropping 2 seconds behind his teammate right now. So I'm guessing there won't be a fight there. Stephen Kerry has retired, and Ticklish and Dudek, well, they have a big gap, 7 seconds of a gap to WMB Martin, which means he has victory probably secured. So that's not great news, but well, what can we do? Somewhere around 10 minutes left, so if nothing happens in those 10 minutes, then it's going to be a really boring time. Ticklish goes ahead of Dudek. Note that now that gap increasing in 10 seconds, so I think he has made a mistake, meaning Dudek, of course. GC Rider catching up to Too Fast slowly. Really? Dudek and Kierownik, both of the Polish drivers, awarded with a time penalty. Both of them having 3 seconds right now. Needleup also getting a time penalty, but that's probably not worrying to him. He's down in last. After that heavy hit. To be honest, it reminded me a little bit of Max Verstappen last season in Hungary. Obviously, Needleup isn't racing other cars, but Max Verstappen had his side pods pretty much gone, and he still kept up with the Hasses, which was very interesting because last year's cars very dependent on those side pods and on the upper part of the floor. Well, front wing is also a very big factor, probably the biggest one, but still, you have to have the entire car intact to have good pace. Oh, and WMD Martin spins and hits too fast. And JC Ryder goes up into second. Both WMD Martin and Too Fast are back in the running, but that's a big incident and that's damage probably for both of them. Let's see how. Let's look for WMD Martin. That's big damage for the Belgian, and well, he will definitely struggle to keep the car going and keep the car going at a good pace. So I think he should be pulling him into the pit lane right now, as it will be near impossible to keep his third place right now. Yes, that's indeed the case. So that's victory thrown away by WMD Martin. Really unlucky there, spinning and hitting too fast. Well, too fast actually hitting him, but it was WMD Martin that has really caused the incident. Too fast and Ticklish also in. I'm actually surprised because Ticklish has cleared his mandatory pit stop. So I'm a little bit surprised. I think he wasn't collected by the incident. But well, it's now a victory very much possible for GC Rider, WMD Martin's teammate, as Paul will be pitting sooner or later. And it seems like the long game has really benefited Paul, because he will be back in around 4th after his pit stop. Also not far behind Dudek, so maybe a fight for the podium there. And well, interestingly enough, Dudek and Kirovnik up from P6 and 7 into 3rd and 4th. Dudek a lot of unlucky incidents. Oh, and WMD Martin spins after his pit stop. Both tires definitely not helping. Dudek really unlucky throughout the season, but this time round, the bad luck has entered the other drivers. Also, the first 10 really lucky for the drivers today. WMD Martin and Stephen Kerry throwing their victories away in that exit of pit lane bend. A really tricky corner in any car, to be honest. Big difference of height, big downhill. It's really easy to go wide. It's really easy to lose control of the car. It can easily snap away. You have to be careful in any car. In GT3 it's even harder, to be honest. But well, let's go back to our net leader. Also, too fast, not far behind Kierovnik. But let's go back to Dushi Rider. His gap to Paul is decreasing, but like I said, Apollo will also have to make another pit stop, so he will definitely drop behind DC Rider. And well, uh, Kierownik well, no way he will catch up Dudek on pace. Dudek would have to, well, crash to have Kierownik repeat his best result of third. So I think no developments there. Well, Paul going strong without any pit stops for 45 laps. A bit like Lewis Hamilton not pitting up until I think 10 laps to go in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Interestingly enough, I saw some comment on Twitter saying that they shouldn't pit Hamilton. He could have easily ended up sixth or something. Wait, F1 kind of has a mandatory pit stop rule, and that you have to use two different sets of tires. I know some people are new, but it's like the essential rule to F1. And if you are going to be a backseat driver and a couch expert, then at least know your stuff, man. Let's see how is it going for our leader. Paul, well, going strong, still without a pit stop. He will be lapping his teammate too fast, and Kierownik soon. Actually, let's switch to too fast, as he has caught up to Kierownik, and it could be a fight for a fourth position right now. Paul going wide into turn one. Well, another close call into the first turn of the circuit. Probably the hardest turn on the circuit, at least in those cars. Also, really easy to miss the exit in Graham Hill. Bend, well, maybe not in those cars, but for example, in the GT3s, which are pretty popular around in Brands Hatch. Too fast now, really close behind Kierownik. Let's see if he gets a good exit and a good run onto the start-finish straight. Well, that's not the case, but Paul is into the pits. So he's clearing his mandatory pit stop. And that means GC Rider is into the lead. And if there are no mistakes made by him, that's GC Rider taking the second victory for Understeer Central today. But let's see the fight between Kierownik and Too Fast. Well, they are not quite close enough to each other to have a fight now, but I think Too Fast is really close. That could be making a move once again. Remember, Too Fast is waiting for the opportunity and trying to be passive, but let's see now. He's really close, and I think he will try to make a move. No, he backs out of it. As they are starting lap 48, it's lap 49 for GC Rider. 2 laps to go, and we will have a victory revealed. Paul actually up into second, so his pit stop took well, really short. Could be that Paul took more fuel at the start. His pit stop was shorter, so really good strategy call by him. He has gained so much time on that overcut, and I think that will be best finish for him if he manages to keep it going in second. That's indeed the case. Best finish for Paul twice in finishing in fifth, but could be a first podium for him in the last race of the season. And in the meantime, Too Fast goes down the inside of Kierownik into the first turn. Kierownik goes on the grass. Too Fast goes on the grass. Kierownik goes a bit wide, but keeps the lead, gets a better exit, and we're back into the lap 49 state. So, well, great race for Paul. His first podium here today, if he managed to stick it in second. Well, great job for him, great strategy call. He also definitely managed to keep up good pace to have that second place finish. And too fast once again alongside Kierovnik into turn 1, and once again he can't make it stick in the pit lane bend. He slid a little bit and into the roads. No way he can make the move there. So it's the same. It's still the same status quo. Let's see, too fast trying to get the slipstream, but he is not close enough. GC Rider, in the meantime, crosses the start-finish line. It takes the victory in the feature race. I have missed that. I have got so interested in the fight between Too Fast and Kierovnik. That's Too Fast taking the victory. Paul coming across the start-finish line to take second. His best finish of the season. Great job by the Belgian driver. Dudek, he's coming into he's finishing the race in third. Another podium for the Polish driver. Let's go back to those two. Fast has made the move on Kierovnik. We missed it. He's finally made the move. And if he doesn't have more penalties than Kierovnik, that means he's finishing fourth. Well, we missed it. They didn't have time to finish it. But it's Kierovnik classified in fourth. Too Fast ending up with 9 seconds of penalties. So that GC Rider winning the featured race. Paul takes his first podium of the season, and Dudek the Paul comes with the last spot on the podium. His teammate and fellow Polish driver Kierownik in fourth. Then we have Too Fast in fifth. WMDM Martin sixth after his mistake and spin. Needleup seventh. Ticklish eighth. He didn't have the pace to keep it up with the podium runners. Even Kerry, DNFs on lap 32, classified in 9th, and Lord Arano also does not finish after that heavy hit earlier. So that's the race done and dusted, but stay with us for a little while. We will have interviews coming in soon. I still can't really do interviews, but I will try my best. So, WMDM Martin is your AOR Formula Rookie Season 2 champion. Great job by him. Really good pace race 1 today as well. Good pace race 2, but the mistakes plaguing him in both races, meaning he didn't win any of the races. He's no wait, or oh yes, GC Rider taking both victories today. I also forgot to mention that's a great job by the British driver. Well, surprisingly enough, we don't have anyone coming for interviews yet. Also, if no one's coming in for interviews, let me check once more. Yeah, no one's coming in for an interview. Well, that's good news for me because I am going to sleep. So thank you for watching. Once more, WMDM Martin is your Formula Rookie champion. Understeer Central has taken the team standings victory. With GC Rider taking the victory twice today. thank you for joining me this season. Well, I couldn't commentate too high, but I was here for the rest of the races and definitely enjoyed watching the fights throughout the season. I hope you did as well. And I hope we will hear each other once more soon. Well, thank you for enduring the series with me. It was really fun. It was great to watch, great to commentate. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And well, depends where you are in the world, but it is good night for me. Good night for you, or good day to you, depends where you are in the world. And see you around. See you next time on AR. Goodbye.